"Welcome to the red shirt table," Jack said with her arms spread wide. "What's your name and what can you do?" "My name, or handle, I guess, is Midas. And they said I was a matter transmuter," Joseph said as he sat in one of the empty chairs. "They told you don't know what your powers are?" asked Armory with a trace of an Asian accent. Midas collected himself for a moment and thought it best to be blunt. "I transmuted everything around me in a radius into metal. I was originally given an inhaler to suppress my powers and confined to my house. I haven't transmuted anything since that day." "How long ago was that?" asked Port with a thick Spanish accent. "Wait, why did you call this the red shirt table?" Midas asked as if he'd missed something that might be important. IQ held up two hands to quiet everyone who started asking questions at once. "What did your parents tell you about Alpha?" "My parents didn't go here or to any academy. I knew nothing about this place until the HU rep said I was recruited and started explaining things to me," Midas confessed. IQ responded, "Okay, so you don't know what a red shirt is." "Just from Star Trek. What are you guys having for lunch?" Midas started to notice the food at the table. "We're just having round after round of chips and salsa," Port said as he moved a bowl of salsa in front of Midas. "Kirk, Spock, McCoy, and Ensign Ricky are beaming down to a hostile planet. Guess who's not coming back?" Jack asked with a fake announcer's voice and a smirk. "Shh!" IQ started explaining things. "A red shirt is us. Those of us without super bodies show up a week earlier than other students to spend extra time going over safety protocols. One of them being a red safety harness that we," he said, pointing at the others at the table, "have to wear in all training situations. And yes, the Star Trek red shirt reference is not lost on us. So, no meteor punchers in this crowd." "I've never heard it put that way, but no meteor punchers here," IQ said. "Midas, how long ago was it you first used your powers?" Port asked again. "A week ago yesterday." "Wow! And they mainlined you straight to Alpha? That's nuts," said Jack in a regular American accent. Midas just nodded. He was tired of answering questions about himself. Midas kept dipping chips and eating while the others were making up their minds as what to ask next. "I figure you're smart, but why the name IQ?" asked Midas as a preemptive strike. "Because he's too smart," said Armory. "Yeah, he's the first ever to score a 7 on the intelligence test," Jack said. Midas didn't say anything. He just kept eating his chips. The others were looking for some reaction from him about what Jack had said. Hollow spoke for the first time. "You don't know what a 7 on the intelligence test means, do you?" "Nope." "Wow, you really don't know anything about this place," said Jack. "Well, as a fellow student, let me fill in the gaps," IQ said. "Intelligence is rated on a battery of tests. The ranking system for superheroes used to be 1 to 5. The first one to break the 6 barrier was, well, you know who." IQ stopped talking. "You don't know who, do you?" "Nope," Midas said quietly. Vector was the brain on the first team of 6. He was also the first one to score a 6 on the scale. Since then, a few more 6s have been found, all recruited to here, IQ said. "And Red here is the first in history to score a 7, Jack said, pointing at IQ, who was smiling. "Vector, who started the Coalition's war. He was on the same team as Kodiak?" Midas asked. "Yup, and Omni, but you knew that one, didn't you?" questioned IQ. "Yeah, Kodiak said he was on the same team as Omni." "You met Kodiak?" Jack blurted out. "Yeah, he was in the HU hall when we routed through. My escort introduced me. He was cool." "I am so jealous. You got to meet the only one of the first 6 you can still meet on your first day," said Armory. "I heard he once took on 10 supervillains by himself. He tore off the first villain's arm and used it to beat the others to death with. His ferocity was legendary," Jack said. "I heard it was more like 20, Armory said. "It was 11, and it was his own arm," IQ continued as the others reacted. "One of the villains cut it off, but Kodiak grew a new one by the end of the fight. He was so hardcore," Armory added. IQ perked up his head and nodded toward the lobby. He was sitting facing the lobby and was the first to spot two young people arriving with their reps in tow. I wonder who they are. The medium-sized blonde says her name is Zoner, and she has a Russian accent, Midas said, who was listening intently. The tall one with the dark hair says his name is Knight, and I think he has a Canadian accent. You a mind reader? Asked Armory. Nope, Midas said as he touched his ear. Perfect near-miss hearing, thanks to Mom and Dad. IQ looked like he got it. Some of the others didn't. They watched the two other youths head for the elevators with their escorts. Your parents were perfect near-misses? IQ asked. Yup. I didn't think two near-misses could have supers as children, Hollow said. The HU rep said I wasn't the first. Must be something from your grandparents then? Midas didn't want more questions, so he didn't correct her. Can we get some Spanish rice or something else to go with the chips? Sure, said IQ. Table service, please. A bot walked out from what must be the kitchen area. What can I do for you? The bot said politely. Do you have just Mexican food or is there a menu? Midas asked. You may order anything you wish. The time to procure and prepare some items may be longer, the bot said. Can you do egg rolls? Midas questioned. Yes, approximately 30 minutes, the bot said. Does everyone here like Chinese food? Armory said excitedly. The consensus was a series of nods and positive answers. How about a Chinese buffet? He asked the bot. A 20-item Chinese buffet will take 1.5 hours to prepare, the bot said. If you like, the buffet could then be expanded to 30 items for dinner. Perfect. Let's do the buffet with kimchi, all day, said Armory. The bot did a quick nod and walked back into the kitchen. Your parents are near misses then? Asked Jack. Yeah, that's why I never gave a second thought to attending an academy, Midas said. He didn't want this conversation to be too much about him. What's a perfect near miss? Asked Port. That's someone who rates just below super in every physical and mental aspect, even hearing, answered IQ, touching his ear like Midas had done. Now everyone knew what Midas meant when he touched his ear. Jack is very personable, Midas thought. Wanting to know more about those around her, he asked, So, where is everyone from? I'm from California, answered Jack. Ireland, said IQ. I come from South Africa, said Hollow. South Korea, said Armory with a mouth of chips. I'm from Spain, said Port. None of you said cities, only countries. Are we only supposed to say countries? Asked Midas. Observe, then question. It's a good tactic if you don't know what's going on. Yes, only the broad area of where you're from, such as a country or state. Like you, your lack of accent tells me Midwest, United States. Am I right? Said IQ. Michigan, said Midas. He's always right, said Jack. I've only known him 3 hours and it's getting on a nerve already. What are we doing today? I mean, aside from eating and talking, Midas asked. Hollow answered. My recruiter told me that today is the day everyone arrives. Tomorrow is the day we start class. Do we know how many more are showing up today? IQ said. The computer systems here are hardened against someone like me, but the bots are not that well protected, and they can query the main computers. Jack paused for a moment. The 2 that are up in their rooms, plus 2 more that should be here by dinner. Wow! Can you check my email? IQ asked. Or can you check my eBay auctions for me? Armory said. Everyone suggested something else for Jack to do with her power. Midas thought this crowd wasn't that bad and he could fit in with them. I can do something with my powers that is so awesome that if I do it, everyone here has to say, Jack is a techno princess, Jack said. If what you can do is cool enough, okay, said IQ. Everyone else seemed in agreement with IQ. Jack smiled and began. We never explored this hotel, but I can feel out wireless signals from here. And I know that there are at least 40 wireless game controllers and a rec room past the pool area. Everyone perked up a bit, and then IQ whispered, Jack is my techno princess. They all gathered up and headed for the rec room. On the way out, the bot that was serving them asked, Would you like me to cancel your order? No, we'll be back off and on, said Armory.